What up, guys? CP the Tool Addict here. Got a special guest today. We're trying a little bit different camera setup. Little Henry here. He's my partner, my little buddy. I've introduced him on the channel before, but little Henry's been with me for 7 years. He was a gift from my father before he passed away. He's a tool dog, shop dog, loves tools, loves tools. And, you know, he likes to hang out with me all the time at the shop whenever he can. He's a good fella, you know, pretty quiet dog. Little mischievous at times, right? And loves to eat quite a bit, even though he doesn't look like it. But he's got a stomach on him. But anyways, the video today isn't about me and old Henry. I just thought old Henry'd be on here for a guest. Be a kind of a nice little change up here on the video. But thought we'd talk today about impact swivels. What do you think, Henry? You want to talk about impact swivels? He's not interested in it. He's wanting to run around the shop. I thought he's looking for food. We talk about impact swivels and the different designs and evolution over the years of impact swivels and whether or not they're necessary. In my opinion, I'm going to go out and start right off the bat with saying that impact swivels to me are absolutely 100%. I need them. Want them, need them, gotta have them. The impact quarter-inch impact swivels are absolutely my favorite. What do you see, Henry? Somebody out there? Go get him. Go get him, Chief. He's looking at the Cornwell ratchet sitting up on the bench there. Anyways, I absolutely think that quarter-inch swivels are hands down. Now, I prefer these over the chrome ones every day. And these are the Matco ADV swivels. See if we can get this focus in here. Alright, these are the Matco ADV swivels. They've held up pretty well. I've been using them for about 6 months now. I had a set of hodgepodge, different swivels, and Gray Pneumatic and Sunex, and these guys are pretty much the same as Sunex, so don't kid yourself. Buying the Sunex set is going to save you a little bit of money. Well worth it. Gray Pneumatics were what I was using before, a mixture of 10mm and whatnot, and I kind of traded them off about this whole set. Just because I wanted one dedicated set. Now, the Matco brand ADVs are great sockets. They're Sunex rebrands, and they are absolutely fantastic. Paying a little bit extra money to get the tool truck to warranty them, to me, is definitely not terrible. These are a couple $100 more, but these things are definitely high. These are high warranted items. I'll tell you that right now. The one thing about swivels is that it's good to have backups with these. I have 2 of these 10mm. I have 2 13s, 2 15s, 2 18s. Definitely got to have backups on these just because they will break on you. And, you know, I've tried every design. Tried this is a Matco Pinless. Let's see if we can get that to focus in. That is a Matco Pinless. This is a universal. This is also a good backup, a way to go for a backup too, is just to have some of these universal joints. Now, I haven't really had any problems with the Matco Pinless, but I've heard a lot of mixed reviews. They are super smooth, in my opinion, versus the pin sockets. Sorry about that. They are pretty smooth. I will tell you the worst sockets that I have, and these are going down the road, are these gear wrench pin sockets. Now, Gear Wrenches just came out with some X-Cores, and I've seen them for a while. They've actually been out for about a year now. Astro has pinless sockets too. There's a multitude of people that are going pinless, but this has been a deal. This isn't the first time that we've tried to go the pinless evolution. I'm going to show you this one right here. This is a Mac pinless socket, their first design, and these did not go over well. Now, I still have a few of these left, but I'll tell you right now, these things were horrible. And I break these all the time. You know, they're getting warrantied out as they break. 19, I just don't use that much, but just thought I would show you guys that and talk about them for a little bit. Also, you know, swivel extensions and how important they are. Now, what reminded me of this was I just seen a video from Working Class Garage. Shout out to him. Great guy, I think. I've watched the stuff for a long time, and he was showing that they have Gear Wrench has new pinless extensions out. And I've had these Steelman Pros for about a year now, and I was kind of wanting to do a review on them. These things are fantastic. I don't use 3/8 as much. I really wish they had 1/4 inch. This is the one I use quite a bit is a snap-on. Steelman, I bought the whole set of Steelmans for $100. And the snap-on, they only make them in 8mm, or they didn't make the Steelmans in 8mm, so I bought a snap-on. And I'll show you the difference between the snap-on and the the Steelman. This shaft is a little bit thinner, which definitely makes it handy and more usable, user-friendly in my opinion. Now, you're probably not going to, it really doesn't make a huge difference, but for some reason, for me it does, I guess. And I don't know why, but you can see that the head of the socket's going to be larger than the shaft no matter what anyways. So, that being said, there is a link on my Instagram page for these Steelman socket extensions, and I do recommend buying them from Steelman if you are interested in those, because they're about $156, and off Amazon they will go anywhere from $150 to $200. They're all over the place, and Amazon is really flighty lately. Anywho, so those impact extensions, they are definitely also very, very handy. And from my experience and what I've been using these is they really come into play to be something that can be very, very useful. So if you're interested in some of those, let me know in the comment box what you guys think if you've used these. You can see this pinless, let me get this in here. This pinless design on these are a little bit different. They're not fluted. These I think are closer, Astros might be more like those right there. But they work pretty good. And the snap-on ones work really good too. They're pin design. And they use a collar to hold the pin in. That's the big difference between a pinless and a pin design is. You'll look there, you'll see that it has this big collar here to hold that pin in, where the pinless uses a retaining ring in the sockets. Here's the gear wrench one, and these gear wrench ones got an aluminum ring, which is absolutely horrible. The minute it touches steel, it just chews up, and these things are junk. I would definitely not recommend buying any of these deep swivels like that. I love swivels. I use them all the time, and this is where the ratchet portion of my life disappears real fast because I use so many swivels, I think. You don't have to really get into using a ratchet as much, because you can get into tighter spaces with impact swivels. So that being said, let's see here, where are we at? Well, anyways, going on. Okay, so the next thing I want to talk about is do you need impact swivels? Are they necessary? And I said in the beginning, I absolutely couldn't live my life without them. I believe that 100%. I absolutely love these 1/4 inch impact swivels. They are my go-to from day to day. I love them. They are fantastic. They are absolutely wonderful. And quite frankly, I just don't see why anybody wouldn't have them. They are expensive, but you can buy cheaper versions. Sun-X, Gray Pneumatic are probably my top two go-tos. You can find those almost anywhere. They're well made. You just got to remember breakage. They are high breakage items. The more you use them, the faster they get worn out. They are completely. You can see how they bind up. Now the pinless, I haven't noticed them binding as bad, but you can still feel a little bit of bindage in them. Let's see if I can kind of hear that noise. They just got a little catch in them. And the more you use them, what happens is that pin wears a groove in there, and it causes it to catch. Once it does that, you'll pop them the minute you're using them on an impact. So keep that in mind. Now, what about the pinless sockets? So far, I still don't have a great opinion of the Matco ones, and maybe some of you guys do, and I've heard so many mixed reviews about these. I really dig the design of them. They do feel super smooth. They feel absolutely fantastic, and I've used this one as much as I possibly can, and I just don't see any problems with it. But then again, like I said, when these things fly apart, they're absolutely super dangerous. there's another topic about them. When they do break, you better hold on. You know, if you got a 3/8 high torque impact on, and these things come apart, you better be wearing your safety glasses. You better be watching yourself and be careful, because especially like on these pinless ones, they're going to come clean apart. Throw the sockets, and these adapters are super dangerous because then the socket and the adapter comes off. So that's your free tip today. You know, and I know there's probably some guys that understand that, some guys that don't. But I will tell you from experience, I have been smoked in the head by a socket coming off of a universal impact swivel. So that's the long and short of that. Anyways, guys, if you got any more to add to this, please do so down in the comment box. I appreciate you guys watching, and hopefully you found this to be interesting and helpful. And we'll catch you on the next one. Remember, like, comment, share, subscribe, ring that bell. You know, get them notifications so you can see when the next video is coming up. And I appreciate you guys watching. We'll catch you on the next one.